Now we've got an update on a story we've been following for a while now. A man facing a return to prison for a long-ago crime after he thought he was cleared. Crosley Green is his name. He was convicted of murder back in 1990, and he was sentenced to death. But in 2018, a federal judge threw out that verdict, and then Green was released. But a higher court reinstated the conviction last year. Green asked the Supreme Court to consider his case, and on Monday, without comment, the court said no. It's a lot to follow here, but Erin Moriarty has covered this case for years, and she has Green's reaction.
I love my freedom. The freedom I had in the last 2 years, it's been wonderful.
In an emotional press conference Monday, 65-year-old Crosley Green insisted he wasn't angry at the possibility of returning to prison for a decades-old crime he says he didn't commit.
I'm able to keep fighting.
Green spent 32 years in prison, 19 of them on death row, for the murder of a young Florida man named Charles Chip Flynn. Although there was no physical evidence tying him to the crime, Green was convicted by an all-white jury. That decision was overturned when it was revealed that prosecutors withheld evidence that officers first on the scene suspected Flynn's girlfriend of shooting him. But Florida's Attorney General appealed the ruling, and last year an appellate court overturned it. At the time, Green remained optimistic that things would work out.
You still have faith that the system is going to get it right eventually?
Of course, I'm not going to give up my faith. You know what I'm saying? I came too far.
I know he is not guilty.
Green's family was visibly shaken Monday by the Supreme Court's decision not to consider his case, and his son begged Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to grant his father clemency as a last resort.
Please look over this case. Don't just sweep this up under the rug.
Green, for his part, urged his family to stay strong.
I'm still here with you. No matter what, I'm going to always be with you. This family will never be torn apart, no matter what.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Erin Moriarty.
This is such a heartbreaking story, and all we have is based on Erin's reporting. You just want somebody to look at the case. Yeah. A couple of notes she sent about this. Back in the day, Crosley Green was offered 10 years in prison. He was offered a plea deal, but he refused to admit to something he didn't do.
How about that?
Instead, he spent 32 years in prison. So after 32 years, he's now eligible for parole, but all parole boards want to see you show remorse. He says, I can't show remorse for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
So, and now here's another twist. The Supreme Court didn't hear it, so now he could possibly go back to prison. It just makes no sense.
You come to the interesting question of whether Governor Ron DeSantis will step in. You know, he's got a memoir out today. He might be running for president at some point. He wants to be in the headlines. This is a case you could take a look at. Certainly get him some attention.
And the family's just saying, please, Governor, take a look.
Yeah.
Take a look at the case.
And for a man who can clearly hold a grudge against the system,
yes,
he still has faith in it.
I know.
It's amazing.
How about that?